show its incredible range, whether he's playing the charming lead or a complex anti-hero. Fans know him best as Bullseye for Marvel's Daredevil. Please welcome the talented Bethel. Welcome.
Should we just do this thing standing or what?
Whatever you want to do. On top of the table. Let's get on. It is a pleasure to have you here. How's your SpaceCon experience been so far?
Yeah, great, man. I'm excited to be here in San Antonio. You guys, great city, lovely weather. Let's go.
Lovely weather. Yes and no. Welcome. We got a lot of great questions here. Actually, I love this question. I put it right on top. The question simply is, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, thrilled to be here. I know it's a disappointment, obviously, not to have Charlie and Vincent here, so appreciate you guys showing up and supporting regardless. And I know that they wanted to be here, so I'll do my best impressions of both of them. We can have some clear conversation.
No, we appreciate you being here, and we'll just FaceTime up later or something.
Right.
Like I said, a lot of great questions, a lot of fun stuff here. I want to start off. Where's Levi at? Or Levi? All the way back there. I love this question. It's so awesome. Do you prefer sharks or whales?
I think whales. I think I'm a whale guy. Cutting right to the deep stuff first. Let's go.
I'm trying to. I just loved it. I'm having a crackle with some of these. Here's another one. I like this one too. Jonathan H. There's Jonathan H. right there. Favorite dish of all time? This is a favorite
dish?
Yeah.
I would have to say saucer.
Plastic, paper. No, it's really a pleasure to have you here. You've had such a versatile career. Like I said, Hard Dixie, Daredevil, and everything in between. What keeps you chasing new challenges as an actor?
I mean, that's exactly it. I think I'm always looking for things to challenge me, ways to expand myself creatively and sort of venture out into unknown territories. I tend to find that the things that are scary to me and feel really uncertain are probably the things that are worth leaning into, and that's proven true in my career. When I first got offered the Bullseye role at Dex, it was terrifying. I was having anxiety attacks about I don't know if I can do this. But then it's proven to be one of my favorite roles I've ever played. So, sometimes the things that scare you the most are the things that draw you in, and that's what I would continue to look for in my career.
Yeah, and we're excited you're in this role. You just mentioned getting the role for the original series, and then when they told you you're coming back for a whole different one, what was the difference in that phone call?
The difference in that phone call was that the whole industry had been shut down for basically a year because there had been a writer's strike and then an actor's strike, and I had also just had a baby. So I've been out of work for like a year and a half, and I had a new mouth to feed. So I was like, I think I need to work, and then I got the call, and anyway. It was a great relief, and of course, it's been an amazing thing to be back with that group of actors and producers and creatives. We really do have the best team in the world working on Daredevil, Born Again, and I think you see it in terms of what you see on screen. Every bit of creativity, of artistic ingenuity and integrity, it's all there on screen, and we have so much. We put so much heart into that show, and I think it's I think that's part of what gives the fans a great experience watching.
Yeah, the fans have been loving the show. What was, the transition, or first off, what was the biggest difference and similarities from when it was a Netflix series and then when it became a Disney Plus series?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one that I noticed right off is we just had more money. The budget, suddenly we had Disney money. Keep in mind that when the show was on Netflix, that was still early-ish days of Netflix. So Netflix wasn't the juggernaut at that time that it is now. They didn't have hundreds of millions of dollars to throw around on stuff. So yeah, when when I stepped on the set the first day on the Born Again, I was like, wow, they got better catering. And I mean, other than that, nothing has been like so pronounced. One of the amazing things that I think they did very right when they rejiggered the first season of Born Again was bringing in Dario, who came from the Netflix world. He was the showrunner of Punisher. So he knew very much what the world was, he knew what the tone was, and once the show found its way again creatively, then I think it really has stayed very true to the original spirit.
Yeah, I remember when that show came to Netflix, I was like, Netflix is on fire now. It was like adding value in my head, and I was like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How familiar were you with, Daredevil or Marvel before this role? How deep in that world?
I mean, I was familiar with certain corners of Marvel, but I was not familiar with Daredevil really at all. I grew up reading, I was like a big Silver Surfer fan.
Yeah, Silver Surfer fans out there?
Sort of a random one. Yeah. My brother was like a huge Spider-Man guy, and like Venom and all that, so I got into Spidey through him, some X-Men, but no, I wasn't really hip to Daredevil basically at all. Or Bullseye for that matter. So it was, just so cool to get opened up into the world of those characters through the show originally, because I started watching the show before I was on the show, and then getting into the comics a bit more as I got involved in the show, and now getting to be involved with the fans of the show, which is like its whole own incredible part of that universe, which I just think is, it's just the most incredible thing in the world to me that we get to come to these things and meet you guys and just see how much love there is for these characters that both long precedes our involvement in it and will long carry on after we are no longer a part of it. So it's, the love that you guys show for the show and these comics and the characters is so cool.
And we love having you part of it, that's for sure, right? Just like the Marvel films, Marvel television is just as important, so I'm glad, we have all these new products coming out, when it comes to diving deep into the MCU. You played charming and grounded roles before, but Bullseye is a whole different beast, that's for sure. So, is there a certain trick of tapping into that darkness and just...
just letting my true colors shine.
Were you watching something to prepare for this role, or...
Look, I've been watching great villainous performances my whole life, and so I think a lot of that had sort of seeped in over the years of things that I loved and seeing different types of bad guys played on screen. But one of the things that I think makes the role of Dex so special is how human he is, and I think that's also part of what has really resonated with audiences. That he's not just like some sort of like mustache twirling bad guy. And that to me is the thing that I just continually find new inspiration and is in his humanity. He's a really messed up guy who is trying to find his way in all kinds of really dramatically bad circumstances. And sort of murdering a lot of people along the way, but whatever. Anyway. But yeah, it's what makes the role, I think, both really, really fun is that, and challenging, is that there's this real emotional humanity to it. But also, it's what connects, I think, the viewers to the character in a different way.
Yeah, people are loving your Bullseye, that's for sure. I got a question here from Alex, and I can't read the second name, Alex and Friends. Where's Alex and Friends? Somewhere there. They're asking, in what ways do you think your character evolved from the original series to Born Again? Maybe like what on paper might like kind of change it right when you see it.
It's a good question. Well, in some ways I think he's more desperate than ever when we find him in Born Again. He's literally been like locked away, heavily medicated, basically without the use of his mind or body for years in a psych ward. and his only way out of that was to make this deal with the devil, right? And so that's what sort of sets him on the path and born again. What I have good news for you, which is that in the new season that'll be out next year, there are a whole new avenues of Dex's interesting, dynamic, messed up psyche that we get to explore, and that some really, really fun stuff is on the way for Bullseye fans.
You don't have to go there and ask you questions. Like, you just gave it to us and then everyone asked you. What more can you deliver to us? What can we expect? Any maybe physical changes to you or some new looks or anything?
I get calf implants, other than that, nothing major.
That's so we don't get too in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a ton of stuff to look forward to. I think, honestly, some of the best action sequences of the whole show are coming in the new season. It'll be out in March. I think the coolest Bullseye fight sequence that we have yet to see on the show is part of the season, like one that truly is fucking awesome.
You're a little bit hype, man, I'll tell you that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
But yeah, there's a ton to look forward to in this season, and as some of you might know, we've already got picked up for a new season that we'll start shooting into. So there's a lot more Daredevil, there's a lot more Bullseye on the way, and Kingpin and all the rest, and some other fun additions as well.
A question from Tim here is, where's Tim at? Hard to see out.
I see you, sir.
You have obviously a better opinion on it. Got you. What was the most difficult part of the fight scenes? You know, was there any contact with Charlie who accidental contact with any of the fight scenes? And you just mentioned...
Sure, it was accidental. No, look, the fight scenes are always challenging. It's a huge amount of planning, it's a huge amount of choreography. They are big undertakings, but they are also some of the funnest parts of the show, you know. So I think we all take a huge amount of pride in these scenes. We put a ton of work into them, and you know, we get a little banged up and bruised here and there just from the sheer physicality of it. But I personally have not caught a stray punch from many of the guys. I don't know that Charlie has. When we were doing season 3 of Daredevil, there's a scene where I'm sort of like, I would call it crashing out a little bit, and I punched a hole in the wall, and I sort of neglected to hit the right place in the wall, which is ironic for a guy who prides himself on having the world's best aim, and I broke my hand. But other than that, it's been relatively injury-free on the set of doing these fight sequences.
What's the training like? How do you prepare going? I know you're about to feel the fight scenes are coming, especially with the latest season, you think more crazier and wild.
Yeah.
What's the training like?
I mean, for me at age 41, a lot of stretching, man. Yeah, I mean, look, we have literally like the best stunt team in the world, so working closely with these guys, you know, the more time you spend with them, the more that you hang around them, listen to them, and work with them, the better you are prepared to ultimately execute on the day. And that's really the name of the game. These guys are the absolute peak. But yeah, it's just about, you know, trying to keep your body in the best shape possible so that it can handle, you know, what is a pretty physically taxing job in some ways.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those fight scenes for the upcoming season. Charlie Cox is Daredevil. We love him out here. He's awesome.
He's alright.
Right? He's alright. Of course I would come from it. That makes so much sense. I love it. So that's what I was going to ask is, what was your first impression, you know, working with him, meeting him, and then you realized, I got to hate this guy pretty much. You go after him.
No, look, Charlie, I'm sure some of you guys have met him at these things over the years. He is truly one of the kindest, most generous, just a real dude, a real mensch. And it's a great honor to work with him, and he just sets the whole tone, not only for the show, but for the the show that reaches out and touches people. I think that we couldn't be luckier in the leader that we have in him. As far as like, turning it on camera when we're facing off against each other, that's the fun part of getting to be an actor is that you get to make believe. But yeah, we there's nothing but love.
It's a great casting team. We've got a question here, no name on it, but they're asking, what do you think Bullseye/Dex's music taste is like?
Well, it's probably not Katy Perry. I think I'm imagining like a lot of like very like emo, a lot of very emo 80s stuff. That's what I'm thinking like the Smiths probably are in there quite a bit.
I'm just thinking like that's what I love, and I'm like, oh, I'm becoming the bad guy here. Listening to that. I have to rethink my music taste now. Thanks for that one.
Look, I mean, I love the Smiths, but it's
question.
Also good music to murder people by, so.
Very good. Another question here, no name, they're asking, if Bullseye was pulled into Westview from WandaVision, what sitcom character would he be?
That's a funny question. Dang, I want you to think about that. What sitcom?
Maybe a sitcom.
Maybe like Newman from Seinfeld?
Who's talking like that?
The other great arch villain of all time.
So you're Seinfeld.
I'm a Seinfeld.
I am as well. You gotta ask, you got favorite episode off your head or just
off the top of my head? I think it's there's honestly no, not off the top of my head.
I think that's not all the time.
I love that show.
A question here from Matt. We have another Matt here. Somewhere out there. He is asking if Bullseye did become a super villain, what would his 9 to 5 be? And instead of not FBI to CIA, what would his actual 9 to 5 be? Normal job.
Right. Like a professional darts player?
Or a postman?
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers could have used him last night, I'll tell you that. I think he definitely should have been the starting pitcher for the Dodgers for sure.
Another question here is, no name on this one here, but what other superhero or villain would you want to play and why? Well, if what was like a hero you grew up, obviously some other Silver Surfer, what were some other heroes you want to be when you were?
I mean, honestly, I think Silver Surfer would be freaking amazing, right? Like, how badass is that? Just getting to like cruise around space on your surfboard. That sounds pretty fun. So I'd definitely put him up there for sure. I think anybody who gets to like Spidey, honestly too, like swinging, looks really fun. I think anybody who gets to fly or have something close to flying would be one of my dreams, because that's one of my dreams.
Well, we don't have other Silver Surfer yet, and the possibilities in this multiverse.
There you go.
So we put it out there.
Yeah, got it on.
Fun question here, no name on this. Do you think you could beat Spider-Man if you caught him unprepared?
Oh, I think I could be Spider-Man if I caught him prepared.
Oh!
Look, man, Bullseye's a dangerous mofo, so I think he could give Spidey a run for his money. Yeah.
I love hearing that. I would love to see that. Are we praying maybe there's some way that can happen?
There are so many crossovers I'd love to see for Bullseye and for the MCU in general. But yeah, I mean, I think at least a handful come to mind that I'd be like, dude, I would salivate at the opportunity. So let's hope for some of those. I don't think Bullseye should be limited to just having to face off against Fisk and Daredevil.
I love that, right? We want to see more of that, right? More Bullseye MCU. There's a fun one with no name, but do you think Dex and your character Riley will get along with him?
If what?
Dex and Riley?
Riley. Who's Riley?
Oh, Riley. Oh, sorry. Riley Denethor.
Oh, God.
Didn't see that one.
Sorry, yeah, that's what.
That's a callback. That's a callback question.
Yeah. honestly, yeah, they might get together. They're both kind of like weirdos in their own way. Yeah.
I have another funny one right there. What was, a memorable or surprising fan interaction you had since taking on the mantle of Bullseye? How quickly do you realize you became like really a fan favorite almost instantly, and then obviously really to see more of you?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of like the interesting thing about the way the cookie crumbled with all this. Season 3 came out, and obviously there was like this amazing introduction to the character. I felt so honored to be part of the show, and just have this whole like creation story in that season of the show. But then it was canceled within like a couple months of it coming out. So I never got to do like this kind of thing at that time. And then keep in mind the show was off the air for whatever, 6 years, 7 years. So it's really only in the last like couple of years. I mean, obviously, like people will come up to me over the years and say how much they love the character and they love the show. But it hasn't been really just until these last 2 years since the show has come back that I've gotten to see really firsthand coming to the cons and just as like the excitement around the show has sort of like rekindled. Just how much love there is for the character. So it's been mind blowing, honestly, to me, and I'm just so grateful and thankful for you guys for showing so much love to the character, and it means the world to me, man. It's incredible.
I love having you in this show. We talked about Charlie, but I want to talk about Vincent. I mean, he is a force to be reckoned with, and it's such an amazing body of work over the years. What was it like stepping into scenes with that kind of energy? Was there something just watching him work that was just kind of like, this is something I can carry on with me because he's just amazing?
Yeah, I mean, dude, look, Vincent's a freaking legend and a character. He's like, you step on a set with Vincent, and he's a physically and emotionally imposing presence. He's a big guy. He's got a big energy around him, and he's also just got decades of experience in this business, working on some of the biggest, coolest projects ever. So he brings all of that into the room with him when you're sitting across in a scene. Which is an amazing thing, because it challenges you to rise to your A game, and if you're not there, trust me, Vincent will let you know. And if he's got thoughts about, how, and he takes, I think, his role as sort of like an elder statesman actor and an elder statesman on the show very seriously. He's a mentor to people. He takes people under his wing. He's encouraging, and he's just a full-on, real-deal artist, man. So I feel incredibly lucky to have gotten to work as much as I have with Vincent on this show, and I've learned a lot from him, and also I've learned a lot from him just by example. Just sort of taking him in his process, doing his work. He's a truly great dude and an inspiration, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we love him as our kingpin, right? There's a lot of shows when I think the casting doesn't really feel right all the time 100%, but I feel like Daredevil from day one, everything was 100% cast perfectly, and it seems like the cast has strong chemistry.
Yeah.
So what really makes this movie click so well together?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just that it is truly the least ego I have ever been around on a set ever, which is incredible when you think of like the caliber of the talent that is involved in the project and the careers that individually all these people have had. It's a recipe to have a lot of divas around. But I really, I said it earlier, but like this is a really special group of people that they lead with the heart, man, and there's just so little ego involved in it, and I think all of that is what translates to making the show special. Everybody's just trying to give the absolute best performance and not let anything else get in the way of best show possible.
Yeah, and we're loving it, right? Lastly, I want to ask you with the show, what has this series from the beginning to now teach you about storytelling or yourself as a performer?
I sort of hinted at it earlier. One of the big things that it taught me doing that first season was just to trust taking the risks of really challenging work. I didn't trust it at first, and I was fucking scared shitless about the role and how it would be received and all that stuff. And I think that's been a huge lesson for me. It's just like give yourself over to the work, give yourself over to the character, and sort of let it out there, let it resonate with people and so on. So that's been an amazing lesson for me. It's been an incredible lesson in patience when you have to wait 6 years, thinking that your character might never come back, but hoping that he will, and it does. Like, oh my God, I was like, that was crazy. And then just a lesson in continuing gratitude again for all the support we get from our incredible family.
Now, Mr. Bethel, you are our Bullseye. You appreciate you joining us today, and we'll look at more from you for sure.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you guys all for coming.